Hey, yo, what up, though, everybody? It's Coach Shaw back again with a very special guest, one of the legends in South Florida, four-time first team All State, Mr. Basketball candidate. He led Miami High to the 2005 state championship. Okay, the all-time leading scorer at Miami Senior High School. Okay, ranked number 5 in the country nationally, guys, nationally. Okay, and this is a time when I was playing, so basketball is a lot tougher. Signed with the University of Miami, okay, and finished with Texas State. One of the legends in South Florida, Edwin Rios. How you doing, my buddy?
Feeling good, Jacob, man. Appreciate the highlights. I appreciate the love. It's been a while. We talked about it earlier, man. Again, appreciate you, man, giving me a platform to kind of, have people get to know me. A lot of people have heard about me. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people don't personally know me as a person. So it's
Mm-hmm.
good. I get to talk about some basketball and have some people get some insight about me, man.
Right, right. Let's talk about. Let's jump right into it about who inspired you to be a coach, man. Like, what was your reasoning to get into this? I know you're a basketball player. I know you love basketball, but what made you jump into the coaching side, and what coach inspired you?
Well, simple question. I got into coaching because of my son, my firstborn, Eddie Rios the third.
Mm-hmm.
I had put him on a team, and the first time I put him on a team, I kind of felt embarrassed for him because he wasn't ready for the cone drills and the setups that they had. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh man, I've been wasting time because I didn't know kids started in first grade. So that was new to me because I started super late. I started playing organized in middle school in sixth grade. So, but that got me started, man. My son got me started. I had him in a team there. It was more of I don't want to say, it's daddy ball. You get me? We had
Yeah.
a dad that was kind of hosting the team. Nothing against that. You get me? It's all good. I understand. But I just figured out that that wasn't the right situation for me and my son. You get me? I wanted him to learn how to play and to
Mm-hmm.
develop as a player. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so coaches that inspire me, simple. Shaky Rodriguez, man, super simple. Coached me most of my middle school and youth years.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I got older in ninth grade. His son Eric is one of my best friends. We still work together with the Miami Knights, which is a basketball organization. But that's very simple, man. Shaky, his schemes and just his passion for the game and his IQ, man. Very
Uh,
IQ coach.
the talk about Shaky, the times when you were with Shaky and all the experience that he gave you. How did he get you to where you are, that you were the player you were, and that you're the coach today?
Man, so first of all, he'll hold you accountable.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of coaches tend to look the other way when you're a good player or you're talented or whatnot. They tend to give you some slack. So he always kept it real and he's very genuine. And man, you just know when guys know. When guys know when
Uh-huh.
you're trying to get to a certain level,
Uh-huh.
and you just know that, man. So it's the IQ part, man. He'll say certain things and call me out for certain things.
Yeah.
For example, when I first started playing, they used to call a lot of charges on me. I was very aggressive. So
Uh-huh.
I'll attack the rim and I'm going there with my head down and just kind of, get caught for a lot of charges. So he taught me how to relax, trust my teammates. You gave me let the play develop, get the ball
Uh-huh.
back, and kind of pace myself throughout the game. You know what I'm saying? And learn. You give me certain things. Bro, he was one of the first coaches that I was with that was actually doing skills training. Skill development. That'll be something he'll do every Saturday and Sunday at the boys club. You get me? And we'll go out there and just develop, man. Learn how to play and play the right way.
So, in the Miami High days, okay, let's talk about that a little bit, man. You're at Schoolhouse Prep right now, okay.
Correct.
Shout out to Schoolhouse Prep, to the what are the Wolves,
Yeah, the Wolf Pack.
the Wolf Pack. Okay, shout out to the Wolf Pack. Okay, but now we want to talk a little bit about, before we get into that, we want to talk a little bit about Miami High. Do you think you're the greatest player that ever played at Miami High?
Now, Miami has been around for a while. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So I don't want to sound egotistical or, what I'm saying, not giving respect to the ones, before me and the ones that may come after me, that are up and coming. But you know, I'm up there, man. You know what I'm saying? If
Mm,
you want to really think about stats and statistics
mm,
and you know what I brought to the table, and
uh,
I gotta be up there, you know. I gotta be up there. So, you know, I don't know if I was the greatest because of, you know, not winning multiple championships. I know one thing though. I had to transfer for 1 year. I left after
yeah,
winning my sophomore year. I had to transfer my junior year. Maybe another time we'll talk about why I transferred and what led to that.
yeah.
But you know, it happened,
Uh,
unfortunately. But 100%, if I would have stayed that season with me, Dwayne Collins, WAP wasn't there no more. Jonathan Hall had left, so he was out.
uh,
But with the, you know, Demetrius Clark, you know, shout out my boy. A lot of guys that were there, we 100% would have ran it back.
now,
100%.
now, when you were playing in high school, y'all had a great team, but who are some of the top players that you played? I know you played against OJ Mayo. Who are some of the top players that you played against in high school?
There's a bunch, man. There's a bunch. I remember we played. I always played up. So a lot of kids now play their age or they play down. You know, after reclassing and whatnot. But I've always been taught to play up. If you can't hang, you know, you'll pick up certain things. The speed of the game, you'll get
Uh,
tougher. You know, so there's other aspects. You learn how to be a role player, and if you don't get in, you learn how to be a good teammate. So there's always positives of playing up. You know, depends what
mm,
you're looking at. But as far as your question of players, man, is a handful, man. Monta Ellis, Mike Conley, Billy Walker, Jared Bayless, Brandon Jennings. You know what I'm saying? Well, I was able to play with Stephen Curry, James Harden, Mike Beasley, one of my boys. You know, is around here, Miami Dade a lot.
shout out to Mike
Yeah,
Beasley, man.
Mike Beasley, my guy, man.
What's
That's
it?
big time.
The ones. What do they call themselves?
We the ones.
We the ones. We the ones.
Yes,
Shout out to
sir.
we the ones, man. But
Nah. Hey, I
but
know you. I know you remember those runs back in the
oh,
days at Miami Beach when you were
oh,
hosting, right?
oh
We had to
yeah,
get in, right? Admission was to get a Gator. We had to buy 2 Gatorades, right,
two
to get in and
Gatorades,
play.
baby.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to those runs back in the days, man. It was
Yeah,
fun in Miami Beach when we had all those guys out there, man, coming out and
yeah,
playing and very competitive runs. You know.
yeah, man. That was a dope situation, man. A good way for me to fundraise for my kids. So who's the top? So give me a story, man. What guy gave you a lot of trouble guarding, or you were guarding, or give me some story from high school from a legend. Who's the toughest player you played against?
Oh man, so we had a good. So here's a story I never talked about. We had a good matchup. Me, right? I was the only guard on my team. We had some other players there. Eric Wallace,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Marshall Moses. We had some good names there from North Carolina. We played against Isaiah Thomas, right? And we played against I think it was John Lucas, his son. Forgot his name.
Yeah,
His youngest son. I think
John
his name.
Lucas.
Yeah, John Lucas.
Yeah,
Might be that one. His youngest, because he has the older one, but never. I think John.
the
Well,
the, the,
whatever.
the small the smaller one, right? The little guard.
The
Yeah, I
little guard,
remember him.
yeah, but he had
Yeah.
another one. I don't know if it was younger. I'm not
Oh,
sure,
okay.
but he went to Texas as well. The kid was, you know, so I had that matchup there. So it was me against those two guys. So imagine Zay Thomas, John Lucas, right? Tough matchup. We're going back and forth, and just the talking, man, because it was weird. I was a guy that I never. I was always in competitive mode. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really big into networking, you know, making friends. My thing was always, hey man, I gotta go be the best. I'm competing. Hey, I'm coming for your name. I'm coming for the top spot, and I'm still like that. So I guess it's something you're born with, right? But
Uh-huh.
regardless, those guys before the game were very friendly, talking, hey, what's up, man? This and that. You get me? So they knew me, I knew them, and just very friendly. So I don't know if that was a plan of theirs to kind of catch me off guard or
Uh,
whatnot. But you know, it was a 2-on-1 attack, you know, so we had fun that game, you know, got very physical.
uh,
I know John hit me with a clean elbow, right? Caught me clean. We had an altercation with guess who was the coach for that? That was an NBA camp. NBA camp top 100, you have to get invited, your money's no good. Right nowadays, what you got to pay to get in, right?
yeah.
Back in the days, your money's no good. You have to get invited, right? You had to have skill and have talent,
Uh,
and you had they you know there's still camps like that, but a lot of things now are money grabs. So
right.
people gotta wake up to those type of things, you know.
Hmm.
But you know, another matchup we had was me and Mike Conley, man. We had a bunch of matchups, man. Mike Conley was a good one. very similar. He was a class older than me, so he was class of 2006. I'm 2007, and we matched up a bunch of times, man. He was I liked him because we're real similar. Same
Mm-hmm.
frame, same weight, same height,
Mm-hmm.
lefties. You get me? And I've met him. The first time I met him, we were in seventh grade, and it was in nationals, and those were in Tennessee for AAU nationals. And he was there always with Greg Oden. I think they won that thing like 3 or 4 years in a row.
Oh yeah.
So that's the first time I seen those dudes. And then again, remember, I started playing in middle school, sixth grade. So that's, a year and a half into it,
Mm-hmm.
almost 2 years, and I'm seeing these guys. So that was a real eye opener for me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Locally, man, you really don't get to see those type of players and that type of competition unless you travel. And a lot of teams
Mm-hmm.
that do travel, they don't necessarily compete, man. They go and
Mm-hmm.
find these little tournaments that are hidden, small tournaments out of state, and they call it a national event. But back then, bro, the matchups were crazy, man. Were crazy. A lot of teams were really super teams. Ohio, Indy Spice, Indy Spice. You had Greg Oden, Mike Conley, DeQuan Cook. What's his name of this dude? Eric Gordon, Josh
He was
McRoberts.
cold.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Think about those guys that are on one team. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You got Southern Cal, you got James Harden, and you got what's my man's name that played at Ohio, man? He has a podcast. Played at Ohio State. Forgot his name. It'll
Uh.
come to me, man. He's a guard, about 6'6", big guard. 2000
Um.
class of '07 as well.
Oh, Lightly.
No, not him. He was younger than Lighty. He played with Lighty though. He was the best player for like the next 2 or 3 years. He went to the
Scooney
NBA. He went to the
Pen.
league.
It wasn't Scooney. That was low.
No,
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 you
no.
went. You went in Scooney Pen. That was me.
Yeah. I
Um.
forgot his name, man. I gotta look it up. I got him here. Oh, Evan Turner. Evan Turner.
Edwin Turner.
Evan Turner, man. You know what I'm saying? Loaded teams, man. Loaded teams. You had D1 Greyhounds, OJ Mayo.
Yeah.
You got Billy Walker. You had they had another big there. But bro, those two guys alone were top five in the nation, regardless of class. You get me? Guys, tandem, crazy. And even before that, Miami Christian. I played there in eighth grade when they were number 2 in the nation. So we were
Yeah.
there under Pelin, my guy Pelin, Art Pelin.
Shout out to Art. Shout out to Pelin, man.
Great guy, man. Great guy in the
Yeah.
community, doing a lot of great things at Divine
Mm-hmm.
Savior. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
He's been around for a long time. He's gonna be around
Yeah.
for even longer time.
Yeah, man.
But
A lot of talent came through through his hands, through the tropics,
bro,
through the Miami Prep. Everything that he got going on over there too. But that Miami Christian squad, man. Woo!
Guillermo Diaz, Jesus Verdejos. We had a Tito Ortiz. Before then, you had Barrea. You had Ivan Lopez.
Mm-hmm.
Man, you had Carlos Morban. You gave me the names. So imagine me, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, and we playing against those dudes, man. You gave me those games were different, So I learned a lot there. That matured me a lot. You gave me matured me a lot from playing in practice with them. You gain a lot of valuable lessons in practice.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, sitting out, I wasn't able to play a lot, but once I was able to play a lot, a couple of things happened there with suspensions here and there.
Yeah.
I was inserted into that starting lineup as an eighth grader,
Uh-huh.
and man, it was just a lot of learning lessons. I grew a lot there, so that helped me leading into my freshman year at Miami High,
Mm-hmm.
where I was leading score as a freshman. That was something that's never been done before in Miami High. I don't want to toot my own horn, but
Wait,
So,
let me ask you, what'd you average as a freshman?
so as a freshman, I averaged 22 points a game.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so 22 as a game coming in. Again, I've always played up. So my dad, shout out my dad, senior, he was always hard on me playing, but he knew, if you play up and you can hold your own, you're going to do fine when, what I'm saying, by the time you get into your grade or you're playing everybody else, So that helped me a lot with matureness, with the speed of the game, but just playing. We played a lot of meaningful games. The games, you know what I'm saying? Not park games, not games for not weak tournaments. We went to a lot of high major tournaments, high profile games, competitive games. So I was pretty much put in every situation you can think of as a basketball player.
So you leave. So you're in Miami High. You leave Miami High to go to university. You go leave and go to another school. Come back to Miami High. Then you go to the University of Miami. Okay, let's talk about the University of Miami. the U, whatever they call it. I'm a Michigan guy though, so you know. But how was your experience over there at University of Miami?
it wasn't the experience that that any kid wants. You know what I'm saying? Being a hometown kid. But again, we gave it a shot. We can't go back in time. You gave me shout out Frank Cave, who was the coach. That was there. When I signed.
Mhm.
But again, I got on their radar when I was in seventh grade for their summer camp. And their summer camp, which was held in University of Miami, obviously, the coaches there at the time were Perry Clark and Greg Gary.
Okay.
So I'll never forget that because I knew I was good, but I never knew how good I was. So that was those camps there really helped a lot. Shout out Freddie from Miami High. Remember Freddie? I think
Yeah,
he,
man.
he he got me into the camp. He hooked me up, man, for the camp. He knew my dad, and he got me in there for free. So shout out. I'm a little Havana kid, so you know how it was. Coming up, you got money wasn't really there. Wasn't
Shout out to
really.
little Havana too, man.
Yeah,
Jose
little Havana,
Marti.
man. Yeah, San Martin back, good times, man. But so Freddie got me to the camp for free, man. So shout out Freddie, man, because those are big time. I could have been home doing nothing. You get me going home, not getting better, thinking, whatever, doing whatever. But I got into the camp, man. I was able to, and at the time, the camp, you know how it is. The camp, the coaches that host the camp are the actual players for the University of Miami.
Yeah.
So imagine I'm there with Darius Rice. You get me? Legend. You're there with James Jones, nasty, one of my favorite players that really got me focused into You're there with my boy. You know who I was talking about, man. Marcus Barnes. You get me?
Yep.
Miami High guy.
Shout out to Marcus
I used to go to
Barnes.
his games and see him in the Big East. That's my guy. When you see Marcus, tell him Rios. That's my guy. He knows. So those guys are there, man, and I'm looking at, Rob Height was there. Another one of my boys, Rob Height. There's a lot of dudes that were there, man, and I got to compete with them a little bit, little games here and there. During camp, they'll had a game called Hot Shot. They had some other stuff there. So those guys were checking me out as I was in camp. And they're like, bro, yo, dude, you know what I'm saying? You're pretty good, this and that. And it was, to me, I'm like, man, I'm watching you guys on TV. You get me? Like, I know who you guys are. And once I got on their radar, I kind of started taking basketball a little bit more seriously, So those, it was tough, man. If I was there with Perry Clark and Greg Gary, I know my situation would have been completely different. Honestly, nothing against UM. I love UM and everything. You get me? I'm a hometown kid. That's a dream, man. To go to UM and play for UM is a dream. But if I were to go back, and we can't, but if I were, I would have gone to Florida, man. I think I would have gone to Florida there. The situation would have been completely different, man.
Billy Donovan.
Billy Donovan, man. Billy Donovan, one of my guys, man. Different situation, man. Away from home, you get me, away from your friends, away from, more focused, more locked in. You get me?
Yeah.
This would have been a different situation. You get me? But again, we can't go back in time. I'm here now, and I love what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I love what I'm doing. I love the person I am today. You get me? And it's just, I gotta go forward and just want to give back as much as I can, and see if we could put some kids in UM in Florida. You know what I'm saying? And see if we can get back that way. You get me?
And create a legacy for yourself
sure.
too, man. Like that's big. So talk about the transition from University of Miami to Texas State. How was that?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, that was tough. That was tough for me. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to get adjusted. It took me a while to get adjusted. I was homesick, and I didn't know that was a real thing until I was gone. You get me? Once I was gone for that first month, I was really homesick. You know what I'm saying? I called home. I wanted to come back. I said, yo, I'll do whatever. I'll do this. We'll go to a D-League trial. We'll do, you know what I'm saying? We'll figure it out. Very immature, though. Very immature of me. After that first month, and once I got acclimated, and once I figured out my routine, and I got locked in, because it's tough. I had to sit out a year with that redshirt year. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not playing. I can't travel. I can't practice. I can't do certain things. Was really tough for me. So I have all this free time that I'm not used to. You get what I'm saying? Because when you're playing, you're working out, you're training, study all this, that, at school. It's a lot of stuff that, life hits you. You get me? And it was tough for me, man. But once I got acclimated, once I got situated, you get me, and we got practices rolling, and we got, and back into the hang of things.
Mm-hmm.
It was smooth, man. I liked it. It matured me a lot. You get me? Matured me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Taught me a lot. Different culture. Very humbling experience.
Mm. Well, from Texas State, now you back into coaching, okay, and training. Let's talk about your foundation that you got on the Miami Nights and Day Foundation. Talk about
Yes,
that.
sir. MKD. So, Miami Night and Day Foundation, man. It's all about giving back. You know what I'm saying? Basketball has always been a tool. You get me, and we have to use it as such. So, with the foundation, I've been able to help a lot of inner city kids kind of get into school and kind of do something outside of staying home and going to hang out or going,
Mm-hmm.
maybe getting in trouble or doing something like
Mm-hmm.
that. They're able to have an outlet where they could go to and train and mature a lot, man. A lot of these kids that we get from inner city, you know how it is. They're single parents.
Mm-hmm.
They may not have the funds. They may not have the means to go and train. They may not have the shoes. So with the foundation, we're able, with donations and stuff to give back and give them free trainings, give them give them a chance to be able to travel and see, different
Yeah.
state. You get me? And bro, a lot of our
Mm-hmm.
guys have been flourishing, man. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
But that's we're gonna have to get into a whole can of worms because we have a lot of kids in the program that are from, in the foundation
Mm-hmm.
and that, man, they've made tremendous strides, man. You get me?
Can
Tremendous
you
strides.
mention some of those kids?
Bro, we
Listen,
have Zion Griffin. You
let's
get
talk
me?
about.
We had Zion came in fifth grade. We didn't have a big. So you know how it is, man. So we had to look for a big and find a big. So he was playing football, and you get me. We were able to kind of talk to his parents, see his situation, and we gave him a shot. We brought him in again. Zion, when he first started, man, he couldn't walk and chew gum, man. You know what I'm saying? And you know how it is. There's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
coaches don't have time or patience to kind of grab a kid, especially a kid who's not paying. You get me? Especially the kid that's just starting. And we grabbed him, and he had to learn on the fly. You get me? He had to learn to fly, and he's picked up a lot, man. He's picked up a lot. He's been able to get into a school. You get me? He's getting his grades have been skyrocketing.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in a public school situation, you know how you get lost in the sauce. You get lost in the mix.
Yeah,
A lot of
man.
kids, it's hard, it's tough. You get me? You get me? You know how it is. It's tough. But we've been able to help him out, man. Help him a lot. His mom Kim is super happy. And again, that's just one of the kids, man. We have Anthony Phillips, another kid. You get me? It's tough kid. Very verbal, not used to certain settings, but we had to get him to kind of relax and learn how to act in certain situations. And
Mm-hmm.
he's a hell of a player. But again, if it's not just one thing, you gotta have everything. You
Right.
can't just play basketball. You got to be a student. You got to be an athlete. You got to be smart. You got to know how to talk. You get me? You can't just do one thing now, especially nowadays. You got to be able to do multiple things. You get me? How to hold a conversation, be polite, be humble. You get me? Have manners. It's not just playing basketball. That can only get you so far nowadays.
Hold up.
Even
Stop
back in the
right there.
days.
Stop right there, Eddie. Now listen, athletic directors in South Florida. You hear how this man talking? Go ahead and get this man a head coaching job. Shout out to Schoolhouse Prep, man. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a good job and everything, but he know how to coach, man. Already. Go ahead and
No, I appreciate you, man.
give him a contract, 10-year contract, 10 million.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
But what other
But
kids do you have in your program? So this is a travel team, correct?
correct. We're talking about my travel team now.
Yeah.
I just got into schoolhouse. I've seen some of the kids around the campus and stuff. You
Mm,
get me? And we'll get into that a little bit later. But as far as my program, man, I got a handful of kids, man. I got a lot of kids, man. And all of this started just from training, just from the beginning of training.
mm-hmm.
Like I told you, when my son got in, I put him in basketball, I put him on the team. I was embarrassed that he wasn't ready to do these, basic cone drills,
Yeah.
regular layup, inside
Yeah.
foot. And I was like, oh man, what have I been doing? So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of started training with him in the
Mm-hmm.
backyard, and then, started taking it more serious. You get me? Started getting him in the gym, and then from there, people seeing him play in his school. Hey, who's that? Hey, whose son is that? Hey, this and that, and oh, he's good. Hey, and a lot of the stuff that, the nice program, the training, a lot of it has come from that, man. Just starting with my son. You get me? People watching me develop, watching me develop my son,
Mm-hmm.
and it's nice, man. Getting time, spending time with them. You get to know them on a personal
Mm-hmm.
level. It sucks that I have to be the coach off the court
Uh,
and in the house, off the court and in the court. But
yeah.
I found that balance. You get me? And I got to manage it. You get me? I don't want to be a drill sergeant, but right is right and wrong is wrong.
Well, how old is your son?
My son now, he just turned 14.
And he is
August
he.
24th. Crazy, right? 8/24.
Yeah.
So, the stars aligned, right?
Yep,
Hopefully,
exactly.
hopefully.
Kobe, let
Yes,
me ask
sir.
you: is he going? Will he have opportunity to go to Miami High?
Man, so it's tough, man. It's tough. Shout out to Tico in Miami High. You give me, he's doing his thing out there. He's bringing back. You give me what once was, and it takes time and patience. You give me. So shout out to him out there. Shout out to Benny too, principal. You give me.
Mhm.
Used to play back in the days. Um, it's tough, man. It's tough. You get me right now. I'm at schoolhouse, so I kind of favor where I'm at. You get me because I
Mhm.
have my, I can kind of peek in, see what he's doing. I'm working in the school
Mhm.
as well. Um, so it's tough. You get me. You never want to say never, but it's just we gotta see the situation. You gotta see the landscape.
Mhm.
But again, right now I'm
You happy where
favoring
you
where
at?
I'm at.
Yeah,
You
you
know
happy
what I'm
where you at?
saying? Yeah. Again, it's all about. I'm big on opportunities, man. You get me. So I was able to get the assistant coaching job, the middle school job, and the JV job.
Mhm.
My brother Michael Rios coaches the girls varsity at the school, and
Okay.
again, it's all about opportunities, man. I just
Mhm.
want to shout out, the owner of the school, Lewis, and his
Mhm.
wife Gigi,
Mhm.
at Schoolhouse Prep. They've
Mhm.
been awesome, man. They've been awesome. They've been giving me an opportunity. You give me. They have me
Mhm.
in the school. I'm able to see the kids that are in the school. I'm able to interact with them and guide them. You give me. So again, I'm big on opportunities. It's there's no secret. I didn't wait all this time to get into coaching. You know what I'm saying? So I've been just because you haven't heard about me or whatnot in high school, applying or whatnot. Um, they were the first people to give me an opportunity, regardless of my situation, regardless of this and that.
Mhm.
They're starting with me of who I am and what I've done these past 7, 8 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You can't judge a book by its cover. Unfortunately, people do that. They do judge a book by its cover, but I like that I'm being based off what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? For
Yeah.
the last
Yeah.
5 years, seven
Yeah.
years, 8 years.
Yeah.
You get me? So go base me off that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Basketball stuff, okay, but base me off what I've been doing. You get me? I'm getting these kids a platform to get into school. Don't worry about basketball. They're getting an education. You know what I'm saying? They're getting an education,
Mhm.
man. They're gonna have a chance to do something in the community. You get me? They might be
Mhm.
able to coach. They might be get a job. They might, you know what I'm saying? And we're doing it the right way. We're doing it the right
Mhm.
way because they're developing, and the kids keep coming back. It's
Mhm.
unfortunate. You know how it is. Some kids do leave and they go try out other situations, but we
Uh,
can't control that. You know what I'm saying? I can only control what's in front of me. So I know one thing: the ones that do give me their commitment and their loyalty, man, I give it back, man. I give it back, and I'm intense, and the intensity is always at 100. You know what I'm saying? And I know
uh,
what I'm doing. A lot of these people don't know what they're doing. You get me? I don't want to. I'm not gonna name names. Maybe another situation. You get me? You know how it is. They go. A lot of these people they don't know what they're doing, man. So they may fool these people.
mm,
You can't fool me, man. You can't fool me. And again, opportunities. They gave me an opportunity, and I'm forever grateful. So I'm gonna do whatever it takes to put that school on the map. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Miami High, man. I wish I would have been out there. You know what I'm saying? You gave me. It makes sense. You gave me. I won the last state title there in 2007.
Oh
They
yeah.
haven't won it since '98.
Mhm.
Um, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm not blaming nobody.
Uh,
I was there. I appreciate Tico. Tico was the only one to reach out and have me go help him out in his summer camp. You know what I'm saying? So
mhm.
that was he hit me up this year.
Mhm.
This year I couldn't make it because I do host my own camp.
Mhm.
So, but I was able last year or the fall, yeah, 2 years ago to kind of get out and go over there and help them out and give back. You know what I'm saying? And you give me, it's good, man. It's good to feel appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Come back, yo.
Mhm.
This guy used to play here. He did his
Mhm.
thing. You give me, boom. He's one of the best here, and so appreciate Tigo for reaching out and not having no egos, man. You get me? I'm not
Mhm.
an ego guy.
Mhm.
I'm a help you guy. I want to help. You give me, get
Right.
back. You give me, we can get back, give back. You give me, and what you see is what you get. A
Mhm.
lot of these people you don't see what you get. They wear masks, you know what I'm saying, and they're not genuine. And I understand, so because other people are like that too, but with me, I'm transparent. So I hope people reciprocate and give it back. And unfortunately, it's not like that. People don't reciprocate, but it is what it is.
Well, I like everything that you just said. I think that the community is going to be based on lies and truths. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people have those masks on, and that you can't see through. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's get back to hoops, man. How I see that record, man, last year for Schoolhouse Prep, man. I'm not liking it, man. I'm gonna call y'all out, man.
Tough. What was the record, man? Remind me, please.
It was like 3-19 or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's tough,
That's
man.
not good, man. We can't do
Yeah, that's
that
tough.
again. What we doing, man? Like, are we gonna be better this year? Are we gonna be more competitive?
Yeah, and yeah, so not I don't want to joke around too much, but you got to be better. The only way is up. You know what I'm saying? The
Mm-hmm.
only way is up. I've liked what I've seen in the school. Now we can't practice, we can't do nothing now until until we start getting closer to the season.
Right.
But from what I've seen from the kids and in PE when they're shooting around with themselves and playing amongst themselves, this year, man, I think we're gonna make some noise. And of course, 100% that record's not gonna be the same. I guarantee that. So
Um,
we want to incorporate some schemes there. We're gonna we wanted the kids play. I know last year they were in the zone a lot. We want to put some more pressure this year, kind of speed the game up, to have more opportunities. So we can kind of see these kids' talent. We have some kids that play above the rim. We have some nice shooters that I've seen there. So once we get them in shape and kind of get the chemistry together and get the system going, I think, man, they're gonna make a lot of noise this year.
so you got. I'm gonna ask you a couple last questions. Y'all get I-20s, correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Like, what are you guys gonna utilize that situation? I would, man. Oh my goodness.
No, yeah. So we've seen some kids now in the school. Like I said, I've been there a couple weeks now. We have some nice kids that have come in. We're still waiting for 4 more.
Mhm.
But for the kids that I've seen there, again, that record is it's not gonna be the same. It's gonna be a major difference. We're gonna have a winning record. Even though our schedule isn't an easy schedule. So we have some good games in there. We got Belen in there. We got True North. We have there's some more teams in there. We still want to fill out our schedule, but for the most part, all these teams that are in the top 10 and top fives, we're matching up with them and right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be interesting. And again, you being my boy, I need you to put a spotlight on the school, man. You get me come out to these big games, man, and I'm telling you, what you see, man. It's a fun game. You play 5 hours, you got opportunity, you got a safety, and once you keep developing, we go man. You're gonna put a lot of pressure in the basketball. What's up, man? It's a fun game. It's gonna be a half court game. It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a high score, and we're gonna go for a lead. Bench wise, a lot of pressure, and we're just trying to keep them as low as possible, man. Under 50, under 40, you know, one of ours. So we're gonna have some fun times at school out there.
I'm excited to see you play. You guys play. I'm gonna pull up to a game. Send me the schedule. I'm gonna try to come to a home game. Like y'all know y'all on the edge of the earth. So I live north, so that's on the edge of the earth. But I will drive out to a home game. It's competitive. Definitely, y'all playing True North. I need to go there. I need to go to that game.
No, I'm gonna send you the schedule. I'm gonna highlight these games, and we'll get it going, man. I'm excited, man. I'm excited again. Go Eagles, man. I want to go. I want to be back in the scene, you get me? And I want to show people the difference. We're gonna show people this year the difference. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be drastic. It's gonna be drastic. I live in the gym. You know what I'm saying? I live in the gym. I was raised in it, literally. You know what I'm saying? First guy in the gym, last guy to be super competitive. I think my best skill for shooting, my best skill, man, is being competitive. You know what I'm saying? Like find a way to win. Know my tactics. Yeah, use that. Advantage, this, that. Find a way to win.
And you tough. And that hey, that lefty jump shot helps too, man. But I appreciate you coming on, my brother. And I'm gonna beat you some games. And I hope y'all go undefeated this year. That'd be
That'll be amazing.
That'd be amazing.
Nah, man, appreciate it, man. This platform to kind of talk a little bit And for sure, man, anything you always do, I'm gonna always support, man. You get me? I love what you're doing, man, and you've been a real genuine dude since the first day we met. Always repping Michigan, so I'm not gonna forget that. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you, man. We've had some fun times hooping back in the days.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna talk to you soon, my brother. Good luck this season.
All right, brother. Appreciate it. Have a good one, man. Good night.
Yep.